What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Big Dog Brett. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share. Guys, we are going to continue to try and help these Alabama fans out. They are flat delusional, guys. They don't get it. They don't get it. Listen, I understand there's a lot of people out there that think I'm hating on Alabama. I'm not hating on Alabama. I must have said like 50 times how much I like Nick Saban, and I enjoy the rivalry for what it is between Georgia and Alabama. Georgia's going to need a good team like Alabama. All of college football needs a good team like Alabama, and I expect more out of the biggest brand in college football. That having been said, if you want to continue to say, hey, I'm hating on Alabama, maybe take your Alabama hat off for a minute and look at what's going on with the program. This program is continuing to descend. You may not want to hear that. You may not like that, but that is the truth. There is big, big trouble in Tuscaloosa. It's not big trouble in Little China. This is big trouble in Little Tuscaloosa. And if you don't get a hold of it, it's going to be near unrecoverable. Now, there's a lot of Bama fans out there who's saying, hey, Georgia's just hating on Alabama. That's fine. You can say that. You can say all these other teams want Alabama to lose. And some people do, and some fans do, and I get that. Alabama's been on top for a long time, and people want to hate on Alabama for that reason. I don't. I want to beat Alabama at their best. I don't want to beat Alabama when they've got a washed-up coach and missing all their players and all this other stuff. It's not what I want. And I don't for one second believe that Alabama is going to be able to just pick up and go like they did before. I'm going to tell you guys, in case you didn't know, there has been tremendous change in the program since Nick Saban left. This is in addition to the video I've already made. So we're going to jump into it. So the first thing I want you guys to understand is that they have went out and they have hired a gentleman by the name of Kane Womack as their defensive coordinator. I said this before and I'll say it again. I cannot believe that Alabama couldn't find somebody better for this position. This is absolutely embarrassing, and they should be ashamed. They should be ashamed. The guy wasn't good enough to stay coaching at Indiana, the Indiana Hoosiers. He coached as a defensive coordinator for South Alabama, went to Indiana for a couple of 3 years, and then had to go back to South Alabama because he wasn't good enough. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, who is this guy? He's been in and around college football for a long time. He coached Ole Miss, Eastern Illinois. And you say, Ole Miss? Oh, wow. It was not fabulous, guys. It was not fabulous. His overall record is 22-16. 22-16 as a defensive coordinator and or coach in any capacity. To explain to you how bad that is in Alabama terms, Nick Saban didn't lose 16 games in the past 12 years, 13 years. He lost 6 last year. Nick Saban has not lost 6 games in the past 4 years. He lost 6 games in the past 4 years combined. South Alabama last year, their record was 7-6. They had to pull off a win against Eastern Michigan to break the 50% mark. Their losses were to Texas State, Troy, Louisiana, the Ragin' Cajuns, James Madison, and Central Michigan, and Tulane. They're not playing SEC caliber teams, guys. You might be saying, oh, give him a shot. Why? This is Alabama. Why? If you're going to beat your chest about how good your team is and how your team's going to be and all this other good stuff, then you should be picking up quality, high-end, elite coaching talent. Problem is, my perspective and my opinion is that these other coaches don't want to be attached to the baby, because they know this thing's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a train wreck. It already has started, and Alabama fans, specifically their biggest fans, seem to be just absolutely head stuck in the sand, delusional. Alabama, you can go read this on Bama Central. So that way you don't think it's just a Georgia fan hating on Alabama. You can go read this at Bama Central. Alabama football analyst and support staff let go under Coach DeBoer. It's not that they didn't want to stay. They got let go. That's on Alabama site. That's on Alabama site. So here we are. So let's talk about the coaches that we're losing, right? Ready? Okay. There's been sweeping changes after legendary coach Nick Saban announced his retirement 1 week ago. Athletic director Greg Byron quickly moved to hire DeBoer. Okay, they were excited. But here's what you got. Several Crimson Tide staff members will not be part of his staff in Tuscaloosa. Former Boston College offensive coordinator and analyst John McNulty and former LSU quarterback and analyst Zach Mettenberger are reportedly out. Former NFL head coach and senior advisor to the head coach Ken Wessenhunt and former college head coach Charlie Strong are also not expected to be part of the staff. 2023 offensive coaches Tommy Rees and Eric Wolford were replaced by Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff, and it is now being reported that linebackers coach Robert Bella won't be retained as well. Many reports stated that defensive line coach Freddie Roach and running backs coach Robert Gillespie were being retained from the previous game. However, 24/7 Sports indicates former Alabama player and analyst James Mosley will be retained, with analyst George Banco as well. Guys, you're losing a boatload of coaches. So you lost your head coach, you lost your defensive coordinator, you lost there's a certain head coach who came over, not head coach. There's a certain elite coach who came over to Georgia who got offered by Kalen DeBoer to come back, and he told him to go kick rocks because he doesn't want to be part of the program. He knows he's going to fail either. But I digress. Let's get back to the facts. Right? So now that we know at least some of the big coaches that are leaving, let's talk about the players that are leaving. These are players that are graduating. These were starters, and they're going to the NFL, or they're not transferring. They're going to the NFL, or they are graduating and they're done. Okay. So defensive end, Justin Bogby going to the draft. Sam linebacker Dallas Turner, NFL draft. These are all starters. Mike linebacker Tresman Marshall gone. Jack linebacker Chris Braswell draft gone. Kool-Aid McKinstry cornerback on one side going to the draft gone. Terrion Arnold cornerback on the other side going to the NFL gone. Free safety Jalen Key NFL draft gone. That is seven starters going to the draft. You can say, hey, we do that every year. We can't help it. Fine. Doesn't mean that what it means is that there's a lot of talent leaving. Right guard Darian Dalcourt, he graduated. He wasn't a starter though. Right tackle. So you're losing your right guard and your right tackle. J.C. Latham, NFL draft, gone. Jermaine Burton, wide receiver, gone. Running back, Jace McClellan, gone. NFL draft. Starters. Transfer portal. Defensive line, Isaiah Hastings going to Syracuse. Defensive line, Michael Goodwine going to South Carolina, gone. Defensive line, Anquan Barnes going to Colorado, gone. Will linebacker, Sean Murphy going to Florida State, gone. Linebacker, Kendrick Blackshire going to Texas, gone. Linebacker, Ian Jackson, gone. Starting safety, Caleb Downs, gone. Likely coming to Georgia. I think I talked about that a little bit earlier about how if Georgia absorbs some of this talent. Free safety, Christian Story going to Kentucky, gone. Jake Pope, safety, going to Georgia, gone. Cornerback, Des Ricks, Texas A&M, gone. Cornerback, Earl Little II, going to Florida State, gone. Cornerback, Antonio Kite, gone. Cornerback, Trey's Amos, gone. Wide receiver, starter, Isaiah Bond, your best offensive guy, arguably, Isaiah Bond, Texas, gone. Wide receiver, Malik Benson, Florida State, gone. Wide receiver, Ja'Cory Brooks, Louisville, gone. Wide receiver, Thal Jones-Bell, gone. Wide receiver, Shaz Preston, Tulane, gone. Running back, Roydale Williams, Florida State, gone. Tight end, Amari Nigblack, gone. Tight end, Miles Kesselman, Tennessee, gone. Offensive tackle, Caden Prider, gone. Hold on, let me catch my breath. Center, Seth McLaughlin, Ohio State, gone. Now, some of you could argue, hey, we need a better center anyway. That's fine. And you got a better center coming up. That's fine. But you still lost him. Still leaving. Left guard, Terrence Ferguson, going to Florida State, gone. Decommit 5-star wide receiver, Ryan Williams for the 2024 class, Auburn, gone. Four-star offensive tackle Dontrell Glover, 2025, undecided, gone. And there's a bunch of other guys on here that's 2025 that I'm not getting to the recruiting on. Guys, it's like 30 players here. 30 elite players. That's a lot. I mean, if you want to stick your head in the sand and you want to say, Alabama's going to be fine, I need you to tell me how you're going to do it without Nick Saban, without the elite coaching staff that you've had, and missing about 30 players of elite talent. Come on and tell me. Come on and tell me, because I'm waiting. Because, guys, this don't make sense if you're just going to say, oh, it's Alabama. What? No, this isn't Alabama. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. You can't sit back and say, hey, everything's going to be fine. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to see. We're going to be good. Good with what? Good with what? Oh, we got Jalen Milroe. Okay, who's he going to throw to? Who's he going to hand it off to? Who's he going to be protected by? Those things matter. And it's not just the offense that's depleted. It's now the defense that is depleted. You see all the linebackers you just lost? You lost 2 NFL cornerbacks. You lost an NFL safety. Guys, some would say the right tackle is one of the most important positions as well as left tackle. And all of the offensive line. And you're losing one. You're losing one to the NFL. This isn't good. Not to mention you're losing 2 NFL caliber wide receivers in just Malik Benson and Isaiah Bond. But there's 3 other wide receivers as well. How many wide receivers do you have on the roster? By the way, those wide receivers aren't the ones those aren't going to the NFL. They're just transferring to other teams. Wake up, Alabama fan. Wake up. I'm not telling you this to hurt your feelings. I'm not telling you this to insult your team or throw dirt on your team or hate on your team or be a hater or whatever. I'm trying to help you see what is happening. The ship has not just one hole in it, it has 40. You can't lose the greatest coach of all time. That in and of itself is enough to hurt a program. You can't make me believe that doesn't hurt your program. Number 2, you can't make me believe that replacing him with a guy who has only 2 regular season 10-plus wins doesn't hurt your season, doesn't hurt your team. You can't make me believe that losing 10 guys to the NFL and then watching all of the talent, or a good chunk of it, under them bail doesn't hurt your team. You can't make me believe that losing all of these elite coaches that have helped win national championships and SEC championships and playoff contending coaches leave your team or get fired doesn't hurt your team. And so whenever you say losing a head coach doesn't hurt, losing all these elite coaches doesn't hurt, losing all these elite players doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. What? You've been hugging the Alabama Crimson Tide flag a little too hard. A little too hard. If this happened to any other team and they were just trying to maintain a record of 10 wins a season, and all of this turnover happened, they would be completely devastated. Completely devastated. Oh, you got to give him a chance. Nick Saban record when he started, this coach's record when he started, and that coach's record when... Those are the exceptions to the rule. That's why you know who they are. Whenever you've got this much change in a program, you've got this much flip, this much of a problem with player turnover, coach turnover, philosophy turnover. What are you talking about? Of course there's going to be problems. No, it's not going to fix itself in 1 or 2 years. Go look at what Coach O did. Coach O came out, won a national championship, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, Coach he did a great job. And then what happened? It wasn't long after that, they handed him the keys and said, there you go, you can take a walk. Bama fans, wake up. the program's in trouble. And if you want to run and you want to hide, I understand. But don't jump up there and talk about your program's going to be fine when you got no reason to, you have no way to prove to anybody other than an Alabama fan that that's the case, because all evidence points to the contrary. And guess what? It's going to continue. Here we are. Nick Saban's only been gone for like a week, dude. A week. Look what's happened in a week. No. Stop it. Get some help. I'm not mad at Alabama. I'm not mad at Alabama fans. I'm not hating on the program. I'm not irritated about anything other than people refusing to acknowledge the obvious. It's obvious. What other program can you look at and say, hey, lost the head coach? Great head coach. Oh, well, lost half his coaching staff. Lost 8 or 9, 10 players to the NFL. What? Oh, and they also lost about 15 other 4 and 5 star players. What? Oh, yeah, but we gonna be fine. We gonna be fine. Okay. No, you fans are the ones that's making this funny. You're making it funny because nobody believes you. Everybody's laughing at you, not because your program's down, but because you refuse to see the writing on the wall. I'm not going to say that I'm going to enjoy whenever anybody goes out there and beats Alabama, whether it's Georgia, Texas, Tennessee, or Auburn, or anybody else. What I will tell you is the same thing I told you in the last video if you watched it. I'm going to be upset. And the reason I'm going to be upset is because I want to play Alabama at their best. Said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want to beat you when you're down. I don't want to beat you when you've got injured players. I don't want to beat you whenever you're struggling or whatever. I want you to be at your absolute best and step on that field. And I want Georgia to beat you. And then Georgia can brag. That's what I want. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section. What is your prediction? Since Bama fans are so confident, I want the Bama fans and the other fans, I want you guys to put down your season prediction, way too early prediction on what you think they will go this coming up season. Do you think it's north or south of 8-4? Leave your comments down below. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I read each and every comment. I like the ones that are sensible. Even if I disagree with it, if it's sensible, I like it. Well, we really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys real soon. Have a great day. God bless. Go Dogs.